What I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of the stuff that's worked really well for me, and hopefully you guys can share in a moment some of the ideas that you've got. And I'm going to try and give you a lot of value. A person who dares waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the true value of life. And this is one of the great things that I think, it's a slide that I use in a lot of different things that I do, but it's one of the great things I think about AI because it allows us to do more with less time. And we're going to come on to a little bit about that. And as I've said, there's no pressure for today's session. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to try and deliver amazing value. So when I'm talking about AI to my clients and to my customers, I kind of get excited around the idea that it's now for everyone. Just not that long ago, a couple of years ago even. And you come, guys, have a seat.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. More the merrier. It's not that long ago that if you wanted to bring AI into your business in a meaningful way that was going to affect your bottom line, you would have literally have had to spend millions, if not tens of millions, developing a model which would work. Which really meant that Amazon, Meta, these companies, they could develop this stuff. But for the likes of you and me and our customers, there's no way they could implement AI in their business in a meaningful way and drive up revenue and profit. Whereas now, there's AI tools all over the place. And you come, guys, good to see you. There's AI tools we can use very easily. Some are free, some are less than the cost of a mobile phone contract, and they can make meaningful impacts in our world. So how do I describe AI to my customers? I've experimented with a few different things. And one of the best ways that I've came about it is, we all know AI is essentially a bit of code that makes a computer do something clever, makes it smart, ingenious, come up with an answer. Tell them it's like electricity. See, when you talk about AI, people sometimes think that it's a solution to a specific problem. But the difference with AI to the likes of NFTs or blockchain, it's not a solution to a specific problem. It kind of changes everything. It touches everything. So when electricity came along, it changed the way we heat our homes, the way we run our businesses. It revolutionized industry. It revolutionized how we travel. It brought light to the darkness. It brought heat to the cold. AI has the same potential to change absolutely everything. And getting people to understand that it's like electricity in that it touches everything has been a really good conversation point for me, allowing them to see that it's not this solution that sits off here. This is going to do one specific thing. It's not for me. Now, when I'm talking about AI, I tend to bucket it into 3 areas. The first one we have is narrow AI. And I never really thought about this before, but someone once described to me a calculator is a type of AI. You give it a really complicated sum, and it gives you an answer like that. Probably faster than anyone in here could do. But it's very specific. It can only do that. Unless maybe you're 12 years old and in the maths class and you're making odds. Hey, maybe that was just me. And moving on, I then talk about chess. So we start thinking about talking to our customers. They think about chess. We have these AI programs. They can play chess. It's a type of narrow AI because it can only play chess. It can't play drafts or poker or tell you who the president of the United States is. But it can play chess really well. And a little bit of fact that I learned quite recently. We think about these chess programs and how clever they are and how the typical chess program can beat everyone in the room and it can even beat the world's best chess players. But recently, the most recent chess AI, the best AI in the world for chess, learned how to play chess in 4 hours. And it learned how to play chess in 4 hours better, not only than any human in the world, but than any other AI that's ever been created. And the really, really cool thing about this AI is that we changed the way we taught it. So previous AIs, what we done was we gave the AI all the things that we've done to learn how to play chess. So we showed it all the best moves. We were like, this is the stuff that we've done. We've hundreds of years playing chess. This is what works. And we thought that was the best way to teach it. But in the most recent AI, what we done was we just said, these are the rules. This is the foundation of chess. You tell me how to play chess. And in 4 hours, it worked out how to play chess better than anything we have ever seen play chess before. I then remind people about the things that they'll see in their daily life because AI can sometimes feel abstract. I don't play chess. I don't really use a calculator very often. But with Netflix and Disney Plus, we're engaging with AI all the time. It's watching what we're doing. What do we watch? What kind of things do we like? What do we watch to the end? What do we binge? And then it matches us up with other people that have similar viewing habits and recommends things to us, which are uncannily good. My recommendations on Netflix are always things that I enjoy watching. AI is now all around us. But Netflix can't do anything else other than recommend things. It's a form of narrow AI, as is this pointer. And then generative AI. This is the second bucket. This is the other thing that gets everyone really excited just now. So these are images that were generated by Midjourney, the graphic AI tool. Martin Luther King, what would he look like if he took a selfie? What would a cat look like if it was in a kind of utopian future? It's kind of space cat, and then some kind of mystical art there. The kind of cool thing with this stuff is that for the first time we're seeing technology create, it's not just creating what we're telling it, it's net new content, and it can be used to allow us to do things. We're going to come on to some of the things we can use this type of tool in business for, and this is obviously where people are very excited. Now, moving on from that, we are going to talk about Superhuman AI. And this is where it starts to get, you'll get customers and clients who maybe get a little bit worried about AI. Are the robots going to come and kill me, Craig? It's that kind of stuff. And the reason I've got a picture of Bill Gates and Elon Musk up here is ChatGPT has, they suggested IQ of 155. So a tool which is freely available online, or you can get the boosted version for like £16 a month or whatever it is, has the same IQ level as these guys. Very, very clever men. And you can get access to that as a tool that you can use in your business to help you do things. Now, where is it going to go? Well, they think that the next ChatGPT model, GPT-5, potentially will have an IQ beyond 200. And then beyond that, there's suggestions that it could even go into the thousands, 2,000. They don't quite know where the limit of this model could go. And what's really interesting about that, and what fascinates that with me, is we've never engaged with an intelligence which is markedly more intelligent than us. The opportunity for these AIs to be able to see problems in a new light is unbelievable. We have some massive challenges on the horizon as a civilization, and this could well bring us some of the solutions. So I like to remind people, AI is not robots that are going to spring to life. It is not Skynet and smite us from the planet. But I do think it is a way that we can make everything that we care about a little bit better. And hands up if you had one of these. Yeah, I did too. And the reason I have this slide is, again, when I'm talking about AI, quite often people say, yeah, but it's not for my business. Like, I'm a home builder, I'm a plumber. AI is not going to affect me. And sometimes when we're talking about AI, I've even had people who are involved in technology say to me, yeah, but we've had flash shockwave and lots of technologies which were really good and they were really present, but they're now no longer there. And I like to remind them of BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry, and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. It had a keyboard, I could send emails, I had BB Messenger, all my friends and my colleagues were on there. Nothing could touch it. Apple came out with a phone with no keys, and I laughed at it. I said, who's going to use that? I need a keyboard. That's crazy, and it doesn't even have BlackBerry Messenger. Now, obviously, I was completely wrong. One of the many times I've been wrong, but I was wrong. And AI is like that. To think that AI is something that is obscure and not something that we need to think about, the pace of change here is massive, and the responsibility we have as business leaders in our own businesses to understand this is huge. But as good, responsible consultants to our clients, we owe it to them to encourage them to also understand this technology and know where it's going. I picked this up off of Gary Vee. He's setting people a 20-hour challenge with regards to AI. He's saying, spend 20 hours, download some tools, mess about with it. We all remember when we first got search engines and bulletin board services, if you want to go as far back as that. We started typing things in. We didn't know what we were doing. Those searches were maybe a little bit odd. We didn't really know how to get the results. Whereas now, if we want to know something, we know how to search Google for the exact information. We know that we know how to separate the adverts from the facts, and we get there really, really quickly. Understanding how to use these tools is really important because it is a way to be able to do more with less. So challenge your customers to do that. And then I've got a couple of stats which kind of highlight the benefit to us, but then some of the risks, again, to us and our clients. 60% of frontline workers struggle with having to do repetitive or menial tasks that take time away from more meaningful work. And 1 in 2 frontline workers, half of them, feeling bummed out, half of them, again, thinking about changing their job in the near future. Those are our team, and those are our clients' teams. If we can take the jobs that people don't want to do, and we can offload them to AI and make them easier, then we are helping secure our teams, and we're helping secure our customers' team members as well. So we leverage assistance with tools like ChatGPT. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick kind of run through of some of the tools that I use, some of the tools that I have been using, and how I use them to be able to get a little bit more time back. And then we will have a little discussion session. So currently, these are my 3 top tools. Anyone that jumped on the retail session that I'd done over Zoom a few months ago will recognize this, but I'm still using them absolutely every single day. So Grammarly is a tool which basically plugs in as it's like a spell checker thesaurus on steroids. It allows you to type an email, tell it the tone of voice you want, and it will change your tone of voice to match what you're looking for. So sometimes you may be writing an email to someone and it picks up that you may be being a little bit firm. And you actually, no, I actually want to be a bit soft. I want to be friendly. I want to be informative. And it will tell you how to adjust it to do that. It's a soft entry into AI. So as we're encouraging our customers and clients to think about AI, this is a really nice soft entry to do it. But this also saves me a huge amount of time. I can just blatter down an email, a Word document, whatever it is I'm doing, and then I just quickly run through it, and it really does completely change what I'm writing. And it is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Since I plugged this in a few years back, it's checked over 5 million of my words and kept me right. And it gives you updates on what your tone of voice that week is, which is quite interesting because it kind of gives you an insight into how you're feeling. Each week you see the general tone. Beautiful AI, if you've not used it before, highly recommended. All the slides you're seeing today are made on Beautiful AI. It is an AI tool in that you upload what you want and it will make it look pretty. The really nice thing about it is that it now has a kind of large language model built into it. So when you create, titles and things, you can actually ask it, can you make this better? Can you reword it for me? And it will suggest changes to it. So that you don't even have to come up with some of the text anymore. It will infer what you've added and suggest this would be a good heading for this. You can really throw together some fantastic documents, presentations here. And a little cheat point is that if you're putting together a marketing document and you want to put in some nice graphs, just copy and paste the information from here and put it into Word, and all of a sudden you've got some nice flowcharts and things that you would never be able to create in Word without going crazy. And then obviously we have ChatGPT. Now, I shared this one before, but this is an example of the type of thing that I can ask ChatGPT. Can you write a tweet store in friendly tone, informative writing style, but the benefits of an IT retailer attending this membership group? And it came back with 5 points. So just a little bit of social media. That's the type of thing that would maybe take you 20 minutes before. It's now 30 seconds. I take what it outputted, I put it into Grammarly. It changes it into my tone of voice. And then I stick it up onto Twitter, or X as it is now. And that's just a way that we can start to take maybe some of the more mundane things for our marketing teams and get them to do it a little bit quicker and maximize what they are doing. But what I remind everyone is that all of these tools and all of the stuff that they come up with, it doesn't have soul. That's where we all come in. So the information that it's generating is great, it's brilliant, it's sometimes intuitive and clever, but it's up to us to be able to add the heart and the soul to that content. Now, one of the things which is really interesting is I often get asked, how is AI going to disrupt certain creative spaces? So we've got a little exercise here. We've got 2 pictures, 2 headshots. One is a genuine headshot, and one is an AI headshot. What I'd like to do is I'd like hands up who thinks this is the real photo. Okay, and hands up who thinks this is the real photo. Okay, lovely. So the top photo is actually generated by AI. There's a fantastic tool where you can take a selfie, and what happens is you take the selfie, you can take it anywhere, and you can say to the selfie, the tool, sorry, can you give me a professional headshot? So you take it in your bathroom, whatever, wherever you end up taking it, and you upload 5 photos, and it will ask you, well, what kind of professional headshot do you want? Do you want in front of a corporate building? Do you want it to be a bit more kind of hipster? What's the style that you're looking for? And it will generate a photo based on that. Now, if you're basically in the headshot business, all of a sudden you might be like, shit, what's going to happen here? Am I going to lose my customers? My play on this is that there's going to be essentially 3 silos moving forward. I think professional headshots with professional photographers that go and meet people and actually get their soul and create something which is a true representation of them will actually have more value in the years to come. But for startups and students looking to create a good LinkedIn post or create a website which has authority and looks professional, well, all of a sudden, a team of 3 or 4 people can get professional headshots for the cost of a cup of coffee each. And I think that's got massive implications for the opportunity for people at that level. And I also think there's a little gap in the middle. I think for tools, these AI tools, there's a space for businesses, startups, students, whatever, to be able to understand how to use these tools and then go out to clients and say to them, by the way, would you like headshots done? We can do them competitively, better than anyone else, at a cost. And so there's a kind of arbitrage moment where understanding how to use these tools is a new way of gaining more business. One quick point on all of this, which is kind of subtle thing that we all need to keep in mind, is the inherent biases that lie within AI models. There's a really famous example which kind of ties in nicely with this section. And it is, you can also get AI tools which can change a photo. So you can upload a professional headshot and you can say, can you make me look more professional? And the specific example that I'll share is there was a woman who done exactly that. She uploaded a professional headshot and said, can you make it look even better? Can you make me look more professional? And unfortunately, what the AI decided to do, the woman, her ethnic background was from Japan, and the AI decided that to make her more professional, she probably would be better looking as if she was kind of white American. Not great at all. And that's because we've basically taught it by showing it lots of photos of professional women. And unfortunately, the photos that we've kind of shown it are majority white women. So we need to be careful that these tools that we're using, we're always questioning. We unfortunately have inherent biases ourselves, but these tools do too because we taught them. So some interesting prompts that I've used over the last kind of 7 days to try and help me do more. My son Liam, he needed to make a poster. Dad, can you help make a poster? I was a bit busy at the time, right? Let's try and work this out. So maths all around us, poster could be eye-catching, informative. Unique ideas do you have from a poster? Now, in all seriousness, I'm quite strict with technology at home. I'm sure there's probably a mix of parents in here. But the thing that I found is that I want my kids to understand technology. I want them to have access to technology. I don't want them to be overwhelmed by it, and I don't want them to go loose on it. But schools are also completely petrified of this stuff at the moment, and I don't want my kids to not know what it is. So I'd rather dip the toe in the water and let them understand that it's not, you do not take what is given to you and copy and paste it and put it out. You can use it in the same way that you would go onto Google and you would go, tell me how maths is all around me, show me examples of maths being all around me, and you would get random stuff coming up. You can use it as a creative muse to be able to get ideas. So trying to encourage my kids to use it in that way to bring new ideas to the forefront and let them spend more time on the creative piece that they want is something that I'm kind of experimenting with. I was helping the support team at Utopia, and somebody messaged in the live chat, is there a reason a game PC to have Windows 11 Professional over Windows 11 Home? Now, I know the answer to that, but if you ask me to type it properly to a customer, it'd probably take me like 10 minutes, and maybe I'd miss something. So instead, I just copied that into ChatGPT. It gave me an answer. I put it into Grammarly. It changed my tone of voice. I popped it into live chat. The response was, "What the hell, that was amazing. Thanks so much. That's super detailed and perfect." We got a sale. And it was a much better use of my time. I wrote a blog. I use Pro. Yeah. I wrote a blog, and I just wanted to know, how can I make it better? Like, I thought it was a good blog, but maybe there's stuff that I'm missing from it. So, especially with the idea of conversion of sales, we're in the lead up to Christmas, date's currently October 11th, and I asked it to look at that blog and point out what could be better. Now, what I'd normally do with my writing is I would send it to the team, and I would say, "Hey guys, can you look at this? How do we think, what's missing? What could be better?" But the problem is, I've maybe got 5, 6, 7, 8 people stopping what they're doing, reading my blog, coming back with feedback. It's all good feedback, but in truth, ChatGPT came up with just as good feedback, and it didn't take anyone any time. A few quick adjustments, blog's live, absolutely fantastic. I'm currently working with like a board, and I've got to make board papers. This was a wee project that we're working on just now. It's kind of like, it was 11th hour stuff as always for me. I wanted it to include that, again, just like that. Give me exactly what I needed. And this is a fantastic tool which I would recommend everyone to use, the old Pareto principle. What 20% of something do I need to know to get 80% of my results? It works on absolutely everything. I'm kind of trying to learn how to code. Python's the thing that underlies most of the stuff that we're talking about today. So where do I start? Not only can it do that, but you can then ask it things like, can you make me a study plan? I've maybe only got half an hour a day. Can you point me in the direction of resources I can use online, preferably free? All of these things. It will do it all for you. And then finally, this one here was insane. So we all have to make marketing content. So what I'd done was I used ChatGPT and I said, can you come up with 50 examples of like tech questions that a typical tech user would have? Can you put them into a table and can you give the question and the answer? And it basically created a table of 50 questions and 50 answers. I then went into Canva and I said, right, can you create a YouTube short template? And Canva's got, I don't know if you know it, but it's got like a mail merge, like Microsoft Office does. So I just linked the table that ChatGPT made to Canva, and in like 30 seconds, it had created 50 videos using the question set from ChatGPT. Now, was the content great? No, it wasn't brilliant. It definitely needed a little bit of molding to be good. But if you had said to me, how long is it going to take you to make 50 videos that have got like questions and answers, I would never create that content. Like that's so much time to do that. Whereas now we can all of a sudden create content that could maybe be posting every single hour. Whereas before, in a small team, there's no way we would have been able to do that. This is an example of a marketing project that we've done with Supermicro. They got in touch with us and said, look, Craig, we've got a marketing funds, it needs to be in by the end of the day. It was through Exertis, it's from Supermicro. Generally, these things take ages. Like, you've got to try and work out how you're going to position it on the website. So we were just like, well, give it a shot with ChatGPT and Midjourney. So we just said to Midjourney, we described our website and we said, we want to sell servers, we want to show this company how we can sell them really well on our website. Now, you all know that Supermicro servers don't really look like this, but we were able to put a marketing document together in literally about an hour, which was pretty decent. We submitted it, we got the marketing funds. Now, kind of like Parkinson's law, some things take as long as you give them. You know, you have a task, and my marketing guys would probably have said, oh, it's going to take us like a week to do that, Craig, and on and off. We'll make it look absolutely brilliant. But it's just a realization that using these tools, we can get really like 80% of the results by 20% of the effort. And it's kind of leaning into it. And we're trying to create a culture at Utopia about celebrating successes with AI. So, you know, depending on how you use to communicate with your teams, say it's Slack, we can maybe even have a network group one, where you share AI wins. So what have I used AI for today that worked well? And just supporting that idea that AI can be a good thing in business. So just a quick rundown of a couple other tools which I would highlight you go and investigate. This one is insane if you do any kind of podcasting, Autopod. So I've always wanted to do a podcast. imagine a video podcast, I think it'd be brilliant. But the time it takes to edit a video of maybe 2 or 3 people talking, you maybe get 2 or 3 cameras, is long. And to get it looking right, it is difficult. This takes the footage from all your cameras, however many you have, and you basically just tell it to automatically edit it into a podcast format, and it will edit down your video in Premiere so that you can, if you want, just go with what it does, but you can also download it into Premiere, and then you can adjust it so that if there's little things that's done where you're like, it's not quite right. So you're not starting with a blank canvas of, 3-hour-long clips that you've got to try and edit down and splice with literally hundreds of splices in a video. This is just insanely good if you create that kind of content in your business. You've obviously got Bing AI, which is an alternative. I put that up there, but really that's probably Copilot for us now. That's the thing that everybody's going to be talking about. So Microsoft Copilot, built into Windows, come November, is going to be built into absolutely everything Microsoft does. It's got the ability to search documents, so throughout SharePoint. Interestingly, at the bar, something I hadn't even considered was, imagine I worked in your business, and you know what? There's a guy called Jeff, and I'm a bit annoyed at Jeff. And I wonder, does Jeff get paid more than me? I can go into Microsoft Copilot and just say, can you have a look in documents and tell me what Jeff's doing and how much he gets paid? If the SharePoint permissions aren't right, I will get that information. It will go and search the documents and it will pull it back and tell me, this is what I know about Jeff. And this is what happened at the last HR meeting. There is a massive, massive opportunity because businesses are going to want to use this tool because it's great. Imagine I missed the meeting, the minutes on the meeting last week. Can you tell me the action points that are for me? These are the action points. This tool is going to save us huge amounts of time, but it's also a massive liability in our businesses because if we don't get it right, then all of a sudden we're just opening up all the information to the entire team. So really, really interesting. Headshot Pro is the thing that I showed you with the 2 headshots. So you can make really nice headshots really easily. You can put in your brand colors and it will do all sorts of fun stuff with it. Seeing AI for partially sighted people, be able to point your phone at something and say, what is this? Describe it to me. And it gives a meaningful, proper, it's a cardboard cup, it's brown, it's got a white lid, it doesn't just say it's a cup. It really goes into saying, it's on a cloth table, it's really describing the world around you in incredible detail, which is just wonderful. And then obviously Canva for marketing, you make really quick stuff, and Midjourney is the tool that we use to be able to create the super micro stuff that I was talking about, the images. Oops, sorry. It didn't work, and then all of a sudden it worked too well. We go forward one? Yay, thank you. So what I wanted to do was, in your groups, if we can basically just kind of come together for maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and pick one of these questions and discuss them, and then I'll pick one person, pick a chair from each table, and we'll just go around what the thoughts were. So first question, what possibilities can AI offer us in the up and coming months and years? Can MSPs or retailers aid in creating an AI strategy for our clients? I think clients are kind of thinking AI is out there. Some of them are thinking it's not for them. Some of them are thinking it is. But is there a space for us to be able to provide value there? And then how will Microsoft Copilot and similar tools affect basically PC fixing? So for the retail guys specifically in the room, if you imagine your computer's not connected to the internet and you could just say to Copilot, well, my computer's not connected, why is that? Or your Wi-Fi's turned off, or can you just turn it on? There's your Wi-Fi back on. My screen seems to be upside down, can you fix that? Yeah, no worries, I'll just rotate it around. These simple questions that were reasons our customers would get in touch with us, in the very, very, very near future, will not be reasons our customers will get in touch with us. The computer's essentially going to be able to fix a lot of things itself. So is that going to be a challenge? So I'll give you kind of 10 minutes just to pull together a new wee group, have a wee chat, and then we'll get a little summary.